I recently made a video talking about some of my favorite 2D JRPGs that made me feel nostalgic, and in today's video we're going to be talking about 3D JRPGs that brings me that same nostalgia that I think you should check out. Now, there will be no mention of Legend of Legaia, Grandia 2, or Chrono Cross in this video. Why? Because you guys know I am extremely biased for those games. I mention them in every video that I can because I love those games so darn much. So I'll purposely leave them out starting now. All right, let's get into the list today. This series has been on my channel quite a couple times now, but this is the Dark Cloud series consisting of two main games. Now, Dark Cloud 1 came out in 2000, and then it had a follow-up sequel that many consider one of the best PS2 JRPGs of all time, and Dark Cloud 2 come out in 2002. There's just so many amazing things I can say about this series, and I think with today's technology, the sky is the absolute limit for what the Dark Cloud series could actually go and accomplish. It still has one of the best combat system, action JRPG combat systems I've played in any JRPG period. The first game featuring that unique feature to build the town and save the townspeople from the dungeon that you go and crawl in, you are able to rebuild the town in its like image or in an image of your own. While the second game took a more traditional JRPG approach of just following the story, the second game also was innovative by allowing you, the player, to play with various vehicles like mechs, robots, and just things of that nature. The aesthetic of the second game too is one of my favorite aesthetics in a JRPG, with its medieval steampunk-like nature. This entire franchise just deserves to come back, and I have no idea why Level 5 has not ever committed to making a Dark Cloud 3. Perhaps I'll have to do even more research on my own, but these remain one of the most unique JRPG series I've ever played, and I can only imagine how amazing they would be if they were to be brought back in today's age of technology and innovation. Next is Skies of Arcadia. This game was originally out for the Sega Dreamcast, and it's one of those, alongside Grandia 2, pioneering JRPGs of that era. I love the era of JRPGs where they just weren't afraid to do something different and weren't afraid to step outside of their comfort zone when it came to the traditional mechanics of a JRPG. Skies of Arcadia is no stranger to stepping out of its comfort zone, and to me, it did everything extremely well, and I still have not quite had such a fun adventure than when I had with this game here. I really truly enjoy the customization and the exploration in this title, as I believe it helped synergize everything that the game wanted to do, and it does it so well. We can only hope that one day we eventually will get either a remake or a remaster of this amazing title. As I said once before, it is so unique in its approach to the JRPG concept. It almost feels at certain times this game was defining the genre with its different and new and unique approach. Next, I'm going to go with Ys VIII Lacrimosa of Dana. This game right here impressed me on so many different fronts, and one word sums up this game to me: fluid. Fluid, smooth, the combat is silky smooth, and the exploration is certainly rewarding. Everything about this game absolutely impressed me and shocked me, and shout out to my brother for getting me into this series. And I watched him play this game initially, and I could not help but notice how fluid and smooth this game ran on everything it was trying to accomplish. Wanted a nice story? It does that. Wanted epic exploration? It does that. Wanted nice smooth combat? It does that as well. This game impressed me because honestly, this series has never been on my radar, and I believe the company name Falcom has never really been on my radar too. I've never really given their games a chance, but when I saw him playing this game and I actually went and got my hands on it for myself, this is one of my most favorite pleasant surprises I've ever ran into. Suikoden III is so underrated even by its own community. I think it's absolutely criminal. This is one of the greatest PS2 JRPGs to ever grace the platform. The game features a triple protagonist system that all have intertwining stories, and I think it is one of the most well done mechanics I've seen in a JRPG ever. I know I've said that a lot, but I truly mean that when it comes to the Suikoden III game. The way that you have these characters, different perspective, and they all meet up with opposing views and they go to fight for the greater good, putting their differences aside. And it's almost as if you were playing 3 different games at certain point, because each protagonist's story is done so very well. It was almost like the Avengers coming together when you finally got to a place where all these characters would meet each other. I love the game's battle system. Even if it took some getting used to in the beginning, it eventually irons itself out, and you end up feeling very fulfilled with the battle system and the certain characters. And don't even get me started on the characters and their development amongst and along this story. The character development is among some of the best I've seen in a JRPG. On top of this, you have those amazing war battles and tactical strategy battles that the game features. And it's just, man, this game, its entire aesthetic, its entire motif, it's just something that resonates with me. It resonates with me so deeply, even more so than Suikoden II. 3 will always have a soft spot in my heart, and I truly believe that it is an innovator of the JRPG genre. It is clearly a 10 out of 10 to me. Even if it's slow in certain paces, this game is a true written masterpiece. And if you haven't played Suikoden 3, you might want to do yourself a favor, strap in, because this one is going to be one heck of a ride. But I absolutely believe that Suikoden 3 is a 10 out of 10. Next up, let's go a little bit more retro with Brave Fencer Musashi for the PlayStation 1 system. I honestly cannot believe that this game has not been re-released or remastered at this point. This was a 3D platforming JRPG adventure experience that I have yet to experience in any other type of JRPG I've played in this sense. It had platforming, it had a day and night system, amazing whimsical Saturday morning cartoon like humor and characters, a plethora of different mini type of games that put you in situations that wasn't exactly common when it came to a JRPG. Everything about Brave Fencer Musashi is so darn unique, especially from that classic 90s era voice acting from Mona Marshall doing Brave Fencer Musashi himself. There's just so much nostalgia and innovation here in this title that today's games just quite simply lack. If you're looking for that type of lighthearted but cool nature, Brave Fencer Musashi had it all. I mean, I'm talking about there were certain points where we had to platform off of pillars, we had to jump on mountains, we had to climb up mountains with 2 swords, everything you can think of, fighting zombies, fighting vampires. We had to do it all. Let me know if you guys in the comment section has played Brave Fencer Musashi. If you have not heard of this game ever in your life, go do yourself a favor and go look it up, and you will thank me later about introducing you to this classic. But yeah, you gotta get your hands on Brave Fencer Musashi if you've never played it before. Next is one that doesn't commonly get noted as being the best, but it is Star Ocean 3 Till the End of Time. I remember playing this game back in 2003 on the PS2, and I fell in love with its battle system, its character, its music, and just the fast-paced nature of the story. This game has a lot of pitfalls that a lot of the fans of the series do not like dying by MP death. Some of us enjoyed it, some of us thought it was the craziest thing in the world, but I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Star Ocean 3 because it is my introduction to the series, and it still remains one of my most profound experiences of the Star Ocean franchise. But yeah, speaking of those PS2 era JRPGs, you gotta throw Star Ocean Till the End of Time in there. No matter how controversial it is, it was one of the JRPGs that formed my love for this genre. So consider checking out Star Ocean 3. Now, this next game is one of those JRPGs that's positively shocked and surprised me. Actually, with this game here, Radiata Stories, I have quite the story myself. I actually rented this game thinking it would be like Star Ocean, as this was from the creators of Star Ocean, Tri-Ace. So I was eating up everything they were putting out around this time. But initially, when I was playing Radiata Stories, I enjoyed its whimsical nature, I enjoyed its aesthetics, I enjoyed its graphics, but then I made it to this part of the game where I got super frustrated as a kid. I got super mad. I had only rented the game from the local video game rental store for 5 days, and I was super frustrated when I couldn't surpass this one part in the game. However, when I returned this game, I could not stop thinking about it. The amazing variety and diversity in the characters, the fact that you could recruit and befriend over 150 characters, sort of reminiscent of the Suikoden series. You had this living, breathing world with the characters that have their own schedules, they have their own patterns, and this awesome day and night system, as well as multiple story branching pathways. Man, you mix all of that up, and Radiata Stories became one of my most profound favorite JRPGs of all time. It is definitely imperfect. It has a ton of flaws, such as the battle system not being that deep, but man, the characters, the charm, the graphics. You guys don't know how hype I would be if I were able to get a Radiata Stories HD today. That would make me insanely hype. This game was super underrated to me, and I will always rep Radiata Stories forever. So if I ever see this game, just know your boy is going to go crazy if it's ever actually brought back into the modern world in any type of way. But yeah, I mean, just look at some of these visuals and some of these aesthetics. And the fact that they put so much into the world of Radiata Stories, this is still the realest JRPG world, or at least amongst one of the realest JRPG worlds I've ever seen. And to be honest, I'm still waiting for a JRPG's world, environment, characters, and day and night system to hit me the way that Radiata Stories did. So I actually started off disliking this game, and its impact was so big, it made me love this game. So there you have it, guys. Those are some of my favorite 3D JRPGs of all time. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below, what are some of your favorite 3D JRPGs, and have you tried some of the ones in this video that I mentioned? Like I just said, Radiata Stories, Suikoden III, these are ones that you guys have heard me speak about many times, but there may be new viewers here who may be looking to find out new classic 3D JRPGs, and I truly hope that this video made you feel nostalgic and that it helped you out. If you haven't, check out my 2D version of this video. Thank y'all for the support, and I'll see y'all on the next one, man.